Have you ever wondered if a single coin in your pocket could be worth more than a luxury home? It might sound impossible, but it's happened before, and it could happen again. Hidden among everyday change are a handful of extraordinary coins that collectors dream of finding. Most people spend them without a second thought, never realizing they may have just handed away a small fortune. In today's video, we're revealing 3 incredible coins that appear completely ordinary, but have shocked the collecting world with their astonishing values. We'll show you what makes each coin special, the rare details that separate it from common examples, and why some have sold for life-changing amounts. Before you check your pockets or coin jar, stay with us until the very end. The last coin on this list has one of the most surprising stories in modern numismatics, and there's a chance that someone watching this video could already own one without even knowing it. Let's get started. 2000p Sacagawea Dollar, Philadelphia Mint. Sections 919. 9. Minting process. How the dies were made. The production of the 2000p Sacagawea Dollar began months before the coins entered circulation. Master hubs carrying the portrait of Sacagawea and the soaring eagle were created from the original artwork. These hubs impressed the design into hardened steel master dies, which were then used to produce working hubs and finally working dies. Each working die was heat-treated, polished, and inspected before entering production. Since dies gradually wear during use, the first coins struck from a fresh die generally show the sharpest details blank preparation. Before striking, metal strips consisting of a pure copper core bonded to manganese brass outer layers were rolled to the proper thickness. The blanks were cut from metal strips, heated and annealed to soften the metal, cleaned and burnished, upset to create a raised rim, sent to the coining presses. Each blank weighed approximately 8.1 grams before striking. Striking process. The Philadelphia Mint used high-speed Schuler coining presses, capable of producing hundreds of coins per minute. Each blank was struck under enormous pressure between the obverse and reverse dies. The striking pressure forced metal into every recess of the dies, producing sharp lettering, strong facial details, well-defined eagle feathers, smooth fields. A normal circulation strike received only 1 strike. Quality control included die inspection, blank inspection, weight checks, strike pressure monitoring, random employee inspections. Despite these procedures, some error coins escaped into circulation. Early die state, IDS. Collectors highly value early die state coins because fresh dies create sharper details, luster is usually stronger, fields appear smoother, hair details are crisper, eagle feathers are better defined. These coins often receive higher mint state grades if preserved properly. Late die state, LDS. As production continued, the working dies slowly deteriorated. Late die state coins may show softer details, flow lines, die fatigue, reduced luster, minor die cracks, die chips. Although common, some late-state die varieties are collectible. 10. Rare varieties. Most 2000p Sacagawea dollars are worth only face value unless they are exceptional mint state examples or recognized varieties. Cheerios Dollar Prototype Reverse. This is the most famous variety. Features enhanced eagle tail feathers. Prototype Reverse. Distributed in approximately 5,500 Cheerios cereal boxes during the US Mint promotion. Only a small percentage are believed to have the enhanced tail feather design. Goodacre Presentation Dollar. Approximately 5,000 specially finished coins were presented to designer Glenna Goodacre as payment for her artwork. Characteristics include satin-like finish, distinctive appearance, higher collector demand. These are authenticated by major grading services. Wounded Eagle FS 901, one of the best-known die varieties. Identification. Raised die gouge across the eagle's body. Looks like the eagle has been pierced by a spear. This variety is recognized by PCGS and other specialists. Mule error. Perhaps the rarest Sacagawea Dollar error, features Sacagawea reverse paired with a Washington quarter obverse. Only a small number of genuine examples are known. These coins have sold for very large sums at major auctions. Off-center strike, possible values depend on percentage off-cent, visible date, overall eye appeal. Broad strike, produced without the retaining collar, characteristics. No raised rim, larger diameter, distorted shape, clipped planchet. Occurs when the blank is improperly punched from the metal strip. Die cracks, raised lines caused by cracked dies. Premium depends on size and location. Die chips, raised metal caused by missing pieces of the die. Rotated die errors, reverse design rotated from its normal orientation. Premium varies according to rotation angle. Authentication, always verify the following. Date 2000. Mint mark P. Weight 8.1 g. Diameter 26.5 mm. Plain edge. Golden manganese brass appearance. Strong design details. Counterfeit warning signs. Be cautious if the coin is magnetic, has incorrect weight. Shows poor lettering, has soft details. Has casting bubbles, has incorrect color. Professional authentication is recommended for valuable varieties. Grading guide, good G, heavy wear, date and lettering remain readable. Usually worth face value, fine F, L moderate wear. Major details remain visible, usually worth about $1. Very fine VF, most design elements visible, moderate circulation wear. Extremely fine XF, only light wear on the highest points. About uncirculated AU, very slight wear, most mint luster remains. Mint state MS60, no circulation wear, many contact marks. MS63, average mint luster, moderate bag marks. MS65, gem uncirculated, strong strike, excellent luster, few noticeable marks. MS67. Superb gem, outstanding eye appeal, very few imperfections, difficult to locate. MS68, extremely rare, nearly flawless, exceptional strike and surfaces. MS69. Almost perfect. Microscopic imperfections only. MS70, perfect under 5 times magnification. Modern circulation coins rarely receive this grade. Population report. Population reports change as additional coins are certified, so always consult the latest PCGS and NGC data. General observations, millions of $2,000 survive. Only a tiny percentage grade MS68 or better. Certified Cheerios dollars, Goodaka presentation dollars, and Wounded Eagle varieties are far scarcer than regular issues. Auction records, regular 2000p Sacagawea Dollar. Top grade certified examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, not millions. One widely reported record is grade MS67, price $117,500, auction house, Stax Bowers. Year 2014. The exceptional price reflected the coin's extraordinary preservation and rarity in that certified grade. Cheerios dollar. High-grade authenticated examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, with values varying by grade and market demand. Wounded Eagle. Certified examples have realized several $1,000s at auction, depending on grade. PCGS lists a heritage auctions record of $7,200 for an MS68 specimen. Market value, regular circulated coin, typical value, $1 00 $2 00, extremely fine XF. Approximately $1 $3, about uncirculated O, approximately $2 4, MS63, approximately $5 $10 MS65, approximately $15 35, MS67, often hundreds of dollars, with exceptional certified examples commanding much higher prices, depending on population and demand. MS68 can sell for thousands of dollars because of their rarity. MS69. Very few examples exist. Market values vary greatly depending on certification and demand. MS70. No regular 2000p business strike Sacagawea dollar is known to have a documented multi-million-dollar market value. Claims of $5 million or $8 million for ordinary 2000p coins are not supported by documented auction records. Always rely on verified sales from major auction houses and certified grading services. Next up. The Hook Coin Introduction, History and Design of the 2001p Sacagawea Dollar. What if the most ordinary-looking dollar in your pocket was actually hiding a mistake so rare that collectors would travel across the country just to see it? Imagine reaching into a jar of loose coins, pulling out a golden-colored dollar, and thinking it's just another modern coin with no real value beyond face value. But then you notice something strange. The shine looks different, the strike feels unusual, and that tiny P mint mark, suddenly it doesn't tell a simple story anymore. It tells a mystery, because in the world of US coin collecting, the 2001 Sacagawea Dollar from the Philadelphia Mint is not just another modern coin, it's the beginning of one of the most fascinating chapters in American numismatics. But here, where things get interesting, what most people don't realize is that certain 2001p Sacagawea dollars are tied to one of the most famous modern minting experiments in US history. And what happened next shocked collectors when some of these coins, originally worth just $1, started appearing in auctions for hundreds, then thousands, and in rare cases even more. The Sacagawea Dollar was introduced in the year 2000 as part of a bold attempt by the United States Mint to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar. The goal was simple but ambitious: create a dollar coin that the public would actually use. The design featured a golden-colored appearance, achieved not with gold but with a manganese brass outer layer, giving it a distinctive glow unlike any other circulating US coin. The 2001p version was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and its design remains one of the most symbolic in modern US coinage. On the obverse, you see Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition across the American frontier. Her portrait is calm yet powerful, with her infant son Jean-Baptiste carried on her back. Above her head is the word Liberty, while In God We Trust appears to the left, and the year 2001 sits below. Most people never notice how detailed this design truly is. The gentle expression on Sacagawea's face, the folds of her clothing, and the baby's tiny features were all carefully sculpted to honor her role in American history. It is not just a coin, it is a tribute to survival, courage, and guidance through unknown territory. On the reverse, the design originally featured a soaring eagle encircled by 17 stars, symbolizing the Lewis and Clark expedition states. The eagle appears in flight, wings fully extended, representing freedom and exploration. The inscriptions read United States of America and $1. It is a design filled with motion, energy, and symbolism, meant to represent the spirit of discovery. Every genuine 2001p Sacagawea dollar has a weight of 8.1 grams, a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and is composed of a manganese brass clad over a pure copper core. Its edge is smooth and plain, unlike reeded silver coins. The mint mark P is found on the obverse near the date area, confirming its Philadelphia origin. But here is the moment where everything changes, because while millions of these coins were minted, a small number were involved in experimental strikes and prototype testing, connected to other coin programs. These experiments created unusual surface variations, weak strikes, and rare transitional pieces that collectors now hunt with extreme intensity. And that leads us directly into the hidden world of errors, varieties, and minting anomalies that transformed this modern dollar from a simple circulation coin into a surprising collectible with real auction history. In the next section, we will uncover the shocking mistakes, rare varieties, identification secrets, and real sales that prove why some 2001p Sacagawea dollars are far more valuable than anyone ever expected. Next up. Powerful Hook, Introduction, History and Design of the 2002d Sacagawea Dollar. What if I told you that a coin sitting in your change jar right now could secretly be tied to one of the most mysterious minting stories in modern US history? A coin so ordinary in appearance that millions of people have held it without a second thought, yet so complex in its production that collectors still argue about its rare variations today. Imagine pulling out a golden-colored dollar coin dated 2002 with a D mint mark and thinking it's just another modern piece of pocket change. But here, where things get interesting, because hidden beneath that shiny surface is a world of minting experiments, subtle design differences, and rare errors that have turned certain examples into surprising collectibles worth far more than face value. And what happened next shocked collectors when they realized that even modern coins like the Sacagawea Dollar, coins still found in circulation, can sometimes carry hidden traits that transform them into premium auction pieces. Stay with me, because this story builds slowly, and the final value discoveries may leave you speechless. The Sacagawea Dollar series began in the year 2000 as part of a bold effort by the United States Mint to reintroduce dollar coins into everyday circulation. By 2002, the program was still relatively new, and the Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing millions of coins to meet circulation demand. The 2002d Sacagawea Dollar was struck at the Denver Mint, and while most examples were standard circulation strikes, this year sits in an important period where experimentation and die production adjustments were still shaping the series. On the obverse, the coin features Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition across the American frontier. Her portrait is one of the most emotionally powerful designs in modern US coinage. She is shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. Her expression is calm yet deeply symbolic, representing guidance, strength, and resilience. Above her is the word liberty, while "In God We Trust" appears to the left. The date 2002 and the D mint mark sit clearly on the obverse, confirming its Denver origin. Most people never notice the fine artistic depth in this design. The flowing details of her clothing, the natural movement in her posture, and the softness of her expression were all carefully sculpted to reflect dignity and history. This is not just a coin, it is a tribute to one of the most important women in early American exploration. The reverse design, originally introduced in the Sacagawea series, shows a majestic eagle in flight, surrounded by stars symbolizing the Lewis and Clark expedition states. The eagle appears powerful and free, wings fully extended, capturing the spirit of exploration and expansion. The inscriptions read United States of America and $1, forming a clean and balanced composition. Every genuine 2002 D Sacagawea dollar has a weight of 8.1 grams, a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, and is composed of a manganese brass outer layer over pure copper core. The edge is smooth, and the golden coloration is not gold at all, but a specially engineered alloy designed to distinguish it from other US coins. But here, where things get interesting, because while most 2002 D Sacagawea dollars are common circulation pieces, certain striking anomalies and die variations have created confusion and excitement among collectors. Some coins show weak strikes, unusual luster breaks, or minor die polishing marks that can indicate early die state production or high-speed minting conditions. In rare cases, collectors have even discovered error combinations involving off-center strikes or planchet irregularities. And what happened next shocked collectors, when even these subtle differences began to influence market interest, especially among those assembling complete modern US dollar sets in high grade. At first glance, the 2002 D Sacagawea dollar seems simple, but as we dig deeper into minting conditions, error possibilities, and collector demand, a much more complex story begins to emerge, one where small imperfections can dramatically change value, and where careful inspection becomes the key to discovery. In the next section, we'll uncover the known errors, rare varieties, identification secrets, and real auction results that show why some 2002 D Sacagawea dollars are far more valuable than most people realize, and how you can tell if you might be holding one of them right now. Errors, identification, auction records, collector demand, and value reveal 2002 D Sacagawea dollar. Now the story takes a sharper turn. Because this is where the 2002 D Sacagawea dollar stops looking like ordinary pocket change and starts becoming a coin collectors actually hunt for. Most people assume modern dollar coins are too new to be rare. But here, where things get interesting, even in a coin as recent as 2002, the minting process itself can create mistakes so subtle, so hidden that they go unnoticed for years, until a collector spots something everyone else missed. The most talked about value drivers in the 2002 D Sacagawea dollar series are not traditional rarities like low mintage, but rather condition, strike quality, and error anomalies. And what happened next shocked collectors when high-grade examples and unusual mint errors began appearing in certified auctions with surprising premiums. One of the most sought-after categories is the high-grade MS67 and MS68 examples graded by PCGS or NGC. These coins are not rare because of mintage, but because surviving examples with perfect surfaces and strong strikes are extremely uncommon. A typical circulated 2002 D Sacagawea dollar is worth face value, but a flawless top-pop graded coin has sold in the range of $150 to $600 plus, depending on eye appeal and certification population scarcity. But the real excitement begins with errors. Some 2002 D Sacagawea dollars show die polishing lines, faint doubling in design elements, or weak strikes on Sacagawea's face or the eagle's wing feathers. Most people never notice this because they assume all modern coins should look identical. However, specialists carefully examine these details under magnification. A strongly doubled or dramatically misstruck example can become significantly more valuable. There are also known clipped planchet errors, where the coin blank was improperly cut before striking, leaving a curved or missing section on the edge. These errors have sold in auctions for $50 to $200+, depending on size and visual impact. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design appears shifted due to misalignment during minting. A dramatic off-center Sacagawea dollar with visible date and mint mark can bring $100 to $300 or more from error collectors, but the most dramatic cases are the struck-through errors, where foreign material or grease interferes with the die. This creates missing details in the design, sometimes erasing parts of Sacagawea's face or softening the eagle's feathers. These coins may not always bring huge money individually, but they are highly collectible and often sell between $25 and $150, depending on severity. Now let's talk identification, because this tiny detail could change everything. A genuine 2002D Sacagawea dollar should weigh 8.1 grams, measure 26.5 mm in diameter, and show a smooth edge with no reading. The D mint mark is located on the obverse near the date. Under normal lighting, the coin should display a golden manganese brass color, not actual gold, despite what many beginners believe, but experienced collectors go deeper. They check for sharpness in Sacagawea's hair strands, clarity in the infant's face, and feather definition on the eagle. Weak detail could indicate die wear, while unusually strong detail might suggest early die state or superior strike quality. Now here's a warning about counterfeits and mistakes. Some people attempt to plate or alter coins to imitate gold errors, or confuse gold-colored tokens with genuine Sacagawea dollars. Others mistake normal circulation wear for rare varieties. This is why authentication through weight, diameter, and sometimes third-party grading is essential. Let's talk auction reality. Most circulated 2002D Sacagawea dollars still trade at $1 face value, but certified high-grade specimens regularly appear in auctions between $75 and $600, with exceptional top-pop examples occasionally pushing higher depending on demand. Major error pieces, especially off-center or dramatic mint mistakes, can cross into the $100 $300+ range, and in rare combination error scenarios, even more. Collector demand remains steady because the Sacagawea dollar series is part of modern US numismatic sets, and collectors strive for complete high-grade runs. That means condition and eye appeal matter more than age. And now we reach the most important moment, the hidden truth. The highest value in this coin series does not always come from dramatic errors alone. Sometimes it comes from a perfect storm, flawless preservation, exceptional strike quality, and strong visual appeal that stands out even among certified populations. These are the coins that quietly rise in value over time, often overlooked in circulation before being discovered. And what happened next shocked collectors when they realized that even coins they once dismissed as modern and common were quietly gaining attention in grading population reports and auction catalogs. The final takeaway is simple but powerful. The 2002D Sacagawea dollar may look ordinary, but in the right condition, or with the right error, it can transform from pocket change into a certified collectible worth significantly more than face value. Now the question is, how many are still sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and old collections right now, waiting for someone to take a closer look? Next up. The story of the Sacagawea dollar does not end with its introduction. In fact, for collectors, that is where the real mystery begins. Because while millions of these coins were struck between 2000 and 2010 at the Denver Mint, the truth is something most people never realize. Hidden inside ordinary pocket change are rare anomalies that were never meant to leave the mint at all. But here, where things get interesting. The Sacagawea dollar series is famous for something collectors call phantom value coins. These are pieces that look completely normal at first glance, yet carry hidden minting mistakes that turn a $1 coin into something that has sold for hundreds, sometimes thousands, and in extremely rare cases, even more. One of the most famous categories is the so-called mule error. This is when the obverse and reverse designs don't match the intended coin pairing. A real Sacagawea mule involving a Washington quarter reverse once stunned the numismatic world, selling at auction for over $150,000 because it was never supposed to exist. It escaped quality control, entered circulation, and became one of the most legendary modern US mint errors. Then there are doubled die varieties, where the design appears slightly shadowed or doubled, especially on the date or inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. Most people never notice this, they assume it's just wear. But under magnification, collectors know that doubling can turn an ordinary coin into a $50, $200, or even $1,000 plus discovery depending on strength and rarity. What happened next shocked collectors. Even small production quirks from the Denver Mint, like weak strikes, off-center strikes, and edge lettering irregularities, created highly collectible pieces. A dramatically off-center Sacagawea dollar with strong visible date and portrait has sold in auction records for between $75 and $500 depending on eye appeal. And yes, that includes coins that were originally found in bank rolls. Now let's talk about identification, because this is where most people miss everything. A genuine Sacagawea dollar weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and has a pure copper core clad in manganese brass, giving it that distinctive golden appearance. The 2010D version carries a small D mint mark on the obverse, just below the date near the neckline of Sacagawea's portrait. Most people overlook it completely. Most people never notice this. But true collectors always check three things: surface luster, edge consistency, and strike clarity. A normal coin will look smooth and uniform. A valuable error coin may show unusual texture shifts, missing details in the eagle's feathers on the reverse, or unusual softness in Sacagawea's facial features. Counterfeits are not common for circulation strikes, but altered coins absolutely exist. Some sellers attempt to artificially tone or plate coins to mimic gold errors. Genuine mint errors, however, show consistent metal flow and strike irregularity, not artificial coloring. Now let's talk about auction reality. Regular circulated 2010D Sacagawea dollars typically trade for face value, sometimes up to $2.05 in uncirculated condition. But error examples tell a different story. Off-center strikes have sold for $100 $400. Strong double-die varieties have reached $250 $1, $200 depending on grading. And dramatic mule or experimental planchet errors have reached five-figure territory in certified auctions. Collector demand remains steady but selective. This is not a coin series driven by scarcity alone, it is driven by discovery potential. Every new roll from banks, estate collections, or forgotten jars still has the possibility, however small, of revealing something extraordinary. This tiny detail could change everything. The highest known Sacagawea dollar-related errors remain in elite numismatic auctions, where certified specimens with dramatic mint mistakes have crossed $10,000, and in legendary cases, far beyond when paired with unique minting anomalies or transitional errors. But the real emotional truth is this: the reason collectors continue searching is not just value, it is possibility. Because this is a modern coin, it is still within reach. It is still turning up in drawers, jars, vending machine change, and forgotten collections. And that means the next discovery could happen anywhere. Even in your hands. Now imagine this. A coin that looks completely ordinary, but under light reveals something it was never supposed to have. A missing detail, a doubled design, a strike error that tells a story the mint never intended the world to see. That is why collectors never stop looking. And in the next coin story, we go even deeper into something even more dangerous to ignore, because some coins don't just contain errors, they contain history that was never meant to survive at all. Stay tuned, because the next coin might be the one sitting in your pocket right now, without you even knowing it.